What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to the pitch notes. EA have released what is just seemingly going to be some fantastic information, and I want to get my first live reaction and talk about it right here, right now. I saw a lot of people tweet me. I clicked this open and I read like the very first paragraph and I was so excited that I was like, I want to actually just do a video on this and enjoy this and engage with this with you guys. So that's what we've got here right now. The pitch notes posted July 30th at 10 a.m. Funnily enough, I only saw it July 31st at like 5 p.m, but that's neither here nor there. Intro to the pitch notes. Hey everyone. Hey. Welcome to FIFA 19 and a brand new series called the pitch notes. We have been excited to see so many players engage with FIFA 18 and spend countless hours carefully building their teams, playing with their favourite players and sharing their feedback with us throughout the year. That's you, that's me. With that said, one piece of feedback we have heard loud and clear from you, our players, is that you wanted to see more information from us as a team, more insight from developers, more communication and more community update around progress, patches and changes to the product. And I tell you what, if this is leading into what I hope it will be leading into, and that is them giving us information based on questions like what does the finesse shot trait do, how do traits impact gameplay, what do the in-game stats mean, how representative are they, how do we visualize them in-game, what's important, what's kind of irrelevant, what's more important for when the AI is controlling a player, what's more important for where the human's controlling the player. If that's leading into this kind of thing, I am all for it. I am all for it. They say, we hear you. For FIFA 19, the pitch notes, which is a great play on word for patch notes, isn't it? Fair play. Whoever came up with the pitch notes, just give yourself a pat on the back and 12k FIFA points, because that is brilliant. It's like patch notes, but pitch notes because it's FIFA. For FIFA 19, the pitch notes will be a central source on our website for all kinds of detailed information related to FIFA. Our first goal is to post a pitch notes article whenever we have exciting news to share or major updates on our product. What will you find here? Our main goal is to provide more information regarding FIFA and its various features and to address feedback when we're making critical changes to the product. We'll do this by providing a platform for numerous members of the FIFA team. Content here will vary from developer deep dive areas to community updates from our engagement team. Either way, when we have something to say about FIFA 19, you'll find it here. Sounds great. It genuinely sounds great. Today, we're introducing a deeper look at gameplay to align with this week's reveal. Below, the gameplay production team will discuss some of the changes to gameplay in FIFA 19 and how we're addressing some concerns we got from your feedback about FIFA 18. We hope that you enjoy the first pitch notes. As always, we want to hear from you. With every pitch notes release, we'll be creating a forum post on the EA forums where you can post feedback on what you want to see in these releases. Thank you for your continued support of the FIFA community team. And every single time they do this, guys, we will create a video on it, we'll discuss it, and we'll hopefully give them a bit more detailed feedback from my personal community. Not that EA necessarily just look at one content creators community or anything, and obviously they have the Game Changers network, which will probably do this as well. But I know you guys that watch me are as passionate as me about the small nuances of the game that we so desperately want discussed. So whenever EA release something on the forums, we'll create a video on it and we'll have a discussion about it. So a gameplay deep dive. The purpose of this article is to go deeper into the new gameplay mechanics and provide insight into our most passionate players. We put a massive investment into gameplay every year, and we're fortunate to have multiple perspectives of the game within our team. We speak to professional, casual and new players and gather information from numerous community platforms, forums, YouTube, Twitter. We also play the game ourselves and work with the wider development teams to deliver a quality gameplay experience that is exciting and accessible to all players. Our goal this year is to give you the tools to control the pitch from high-level tactics to every individual touch of the ball. That is super intriguing. We're going to discuss the four major innovations coming to FIFA 19. It makes me chuckle when they use the term innovation because it's been the trigger word for many years with EA discussing new film. Anyway, we're going to discuss the four major innovations coming to FIFA 19 gameplay in this article: timed finishing, active touch system, dynamic tactics, and 50-50 battles. We begin with time finishing. Time finishing is an added layer of depth designed to be a risk/reward mechanic. Get the timing right and you'll reap the benefits of an added extra finesse, curve or power. but get the timing wrong and you'll introduce more error to your shot. It's not something that you'll probably use on every shot, but it's something that can make a difference in the most crucial moments of the game. This is how time finishing will work in FIFA 19. And I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. If not, can we click on it here? Yeah, let's watch it here. Let's watch it here. So we get, it's literally time finishing. So right now when you double tap, you press shoot, and then you press shoot again for a low driven. Time finishing is going to be that. You're going to press shoot, and then you're going to press shoot to time the finish, basically. So you like tap it once and then tap it to time it. And the way it's going to work is basically if you get it in the green bar, you're going to hit a better shot. If you miss the green bar, it's going to be a worse shot. And I would theorize that players with higher finishing attributes are going to have bigger green bars than players with lower finishing attributes that will have, you know, smaller green bars. So if you do master the timing shot system, you could actually take players that are really, really bad and score worldies with them because of you. So request your shot and wait for your player to start the shooting animation. When he is about to connect to the ball, tap the shoot button a second time. If your timing is right, your shot will be more powerful and will have less error applied, which means that you will have a higher chance to score. The player indicator will give you the necessary feedback on your time finishing attempt by turning a specific color. Red and yellow mean that your second button tap was too early. Green indicates that it achieved the perfect timing, and white means that you were too late. If your timing is wrong, too early, your shot will have a lot less error and will be less likely to find the back of the net. Your shot will have a lot of error and will be less likely to find the back of the net. Too late, your shot will not be affected by the mechanic as the ball is already traveling and you have already contacted the ball. So I guess if you hit it too late, it will just be like as if you just tapped the shoot button. So I guess it will be an accurate shot, just very, very weak, like no power on it at all. So I guess if you hit it too early, you might strike it hard but wide, and if you hit it too late, strike it accurate but weak. I think that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Player attributes still affect shooting attempts in the same way. Time finishing is on top of everything else that goes into a shot attempt in FIFA. For example, players with higher shooting attributes will already have better shot than players with lower shooting attributes when both achieve a perfect time and finish attempt. So still says that, from what I get from this, is what it means is that I said to you guys, you might have a bronze player or a player with low shooting that could still bang a good shot. But it seems like even a player with great shooting that gets a great time shot will still have a better, more powerful, more accurate shot than a player with low shooting that gets a perfectly timed shot. And that is great. What I do love about time shooting is I've read on Twitter that you can turn it off if you want it turned off. So a lot of people might do that. But B, I think personally it adds a skill gap to the game, because if you can master the time finishing or the time shooting or however you want to call it, you can just add an element of skill to your game that people that don't master the feature can't have. And so in that sense, it can be really, really positive. This mechanic is completely optional. You can still take a shot like you have always done in FIFA, but if you want to take a chance at giving your shot a little something extra, this is a great new feature to add to your FIFA experience. The decision to attempt time finishing is in your hands, and if you get it right, time finishing can provide more opportunities in front of goal than ever before. So that's a pretty cool feature. Active touch system. The active touch system is a rewrite of how the game calculates every moment in which a player touches the ball in the game. Now, what I have a feeling that this is about is people's complaints at first touches. And in fact, one of my most notable rage moments is from FIFA 17, where I'm absolutely going nuts because my players can't trap simple balls, even though they have high ball control, high dribbling stats, and they're top quality players. You know, I've got like a full high-end team, and every time the ball hits every time I make a pass, they don't trap the ball. It like pops off them and bounces away, and it's so infuriating. And I have a feeling that this is akin to fixing those specific issues in the game. This system has more animation variety, fluidity and responsiveness that creates more natural football movements when you see the players behaving more realistically on the virtual pitch. Additionally, there are new tools that we were able to implement with this system. Flicks. By flicking or pressing the right stick, you'll be able to flick the ball anytime and in any direction to beat your opponent or start a self-initiated volley. The longer you hold the stick, the further the ball will go. The ball control player attribute will determine how effective each player's flicks are in the game. So immediately, I love the fact that they've given us a little bit of information on ball control and what it does. Obviously, ball control is about how you touch the ball and stuff, but the fact that they're saying, like, the better your ball control, that will determine how effective that specific player's flicks are in the game. So if you've got a guy that might be great all round but really low ball control, you know you're not going to use this feature on him because it'll be a waste. Soul Trap, another new animation that is used similar to how flicks are, but you must hold the left trigger or L2 button to bounce the ball on the ground to beat an opponent. It's an interesting one. Hopefully we get to see a picture of that or an image of that here. Disguise ball control. A feint used to fool defenders into moving the wrong direction when collecting the ball. Get closer to the real world game by using these same moves that pros like Tony Kroos use to create space. And I guess that's like a drop of the shoulder without actually doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Like you just run in the straight line, you hit a drop of the shoulder, the defender like, oh, he's going to move, and then you just carry on doing exactly what you was doing. Send defenders the wrong way and open up the game for your team. This mechanic is R1 and RB plus left stick into the direction that the ball is going. And let's take a look at the new active touch system. That is a great little flick there. And then a volley of dreams. So he controlled... Hold on, I want to go back and watch that. How did he... let me get this on... Get the speed down to 0.5. I just want to see... I want to see that first one, how he controlled it. This one here coming in. Did he like stick out a leg? Yeah, look at that Aguero on the right hand side. Like just sticks out a leg to dead the ball. That's pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Takes a touch in the box. That's what, yeah, the new trap. Like little fake shot and then on the outside. I love that. Love a little touch there. Touch inside. That's beautiful. Touch away from the defenders. Ooh, that's the bounce thing that it was talking about. What's that? The soul trap that was. So you can like if the ball's coming down, you could like bounce it. So you bounce it over the tackle. That's brilliant. Lovely touch there from Willian. I tell you what, everything that I see here suggests to me skill gap. That's what this suggests to me. You master this. You master the shooting technique, the precise finishing, the timed finishing, and the active touch system. If you can master them, you're going to give yourself such a huge advantage in any competitive game above somebody that hasn't. Next up, we've got dynamic tactics. Tactic control is one of the areas that was rebuilt for FIFA 19 because of feedback from the community, which gives you more depth through customization and variety that will have a big impact on your game. With dynamic tactics, we overhauled the entire system to make sure setting up your... Wait, hold on. We overhauled the entire system to make setting up your team more important than ever. I don't know where I got the word sure from. It threw me through a loop. We're back. Your team will execute your approach in an obvious manner on the pitch, and the different tactics will be visually distinct from each other. And that's something that I'm excited about because right now, like, although you can tell when certain tactics are in play, you have to really look for it and spot it. If they're obviously distinct from each other, that's much better. Tactics have been balanced so that each tactic has an advantage and a disadvantage that can be exploited. And again, I love this because right now, what was one of our biggest complaints over the last 2 years of competitive FIFA been? It's been that for people that play park the bus, low pressure, low aggression, and just sit deep and haul the ball, there's no counter for that. There's no, oh, let me just do this and now all of a sudden this guy can't get away with playing this imbalanced game. And that's not to say that Park the Bus was ever something that was unbeatable. It was just so, like, in the terms of balance, it was overpowered. It was so, it was unbalanced. It was unfair. It gave you an advantage that required so much effort, so much time, so much skill, and so much, like, risk to break that down that it wasn't fair. The fact that they've now seen that and hopefully fixed that and have given all the tactics to have something that has an advantage and a disadvantage, again, puts in my opinion, skill gap. One of the things that I've really worked on for me personally over the last few months of FIFA, maybe the last 6 months of FIFA, is that when my opponent does something, specifically in draft now, I try and counter it. If they change to a certain formation, not in draft obviously, but in divisions and foot champs, if they change to a certain formation, I know that I've got a formation that works well against that. Or if I'm not being able to create chances, I'll change formation and it'll work well against that. Seems like we're going to have a lot more of that. And again, it's like if you can spot something that's... If your opponent comes in with said tactic and you're like, oh, I know the weaknesses of this tactic, you have an advantage. If also, however, you're running a tactic that you're just struggling against, you'll be like, let me change that to something else to remove this disadvantage and hopefully give yourself an advantage in the game. I love that. For example, While a tactic like high pressure is important because it gives you the chance to recover the ball faster, your players will get more tired and potentially create 1v1 situations for your opponent as your defensive line becomes more vulnerable. I mean, this is just brilliant, isn't it? This is music to everyone's ears. What this says to me is now your opponent will not be able to run around for 90 minutes like a crazed drug addict player that is on 99 stamina forever, because if they're on high pressure now, they're going to lose stamina a lot quicker, they're going to get a lot tired a lot quicker, and it's going to impact the late game. Because right now, one of the viable methods of playing this game is going high pressure, high aggression, contrary to the low pressure, low aggression we were talking about, and just having your 11 players just run around at full sprint for the whole game with no real penalty. So I like that. For example, if you choose a possession-based tactic, your players will support their teammate in possession and provide safe passing options. If you adjust for faster build-up play, your players will move quickly up the field and make riskier runs to try and create immediate chances. All sounds very good. The tactics menu has been completely refreshed to become more accessible and provide you with more information on what each tactic does, which again is another one of those things that we've just been complaining about for the last few years that hopefully they fixed here, or not fixed, but hopefully they've given us information on. For those that would like a deeper level of control, we've also created the ability for you to customize each mentality in the game. This is like creating your own game plan with the option to adapt and change your style during the game by using the D-pad without having to pause, and this is amazing. I have seen this already before, obviously, and I know what it's about, and it looks amazing. For each mentality, you'll be able to decide what formation, tactics, player instructions you want to see. If you can identify what your opponent is using, you can respond quickly during a match by changing your own tactics. And I love this. I love it. I love the fact that if my opponent goes ultra defensive, because I believe part of the bus and all-out attack have been removed, if my opponent goes ultra defensive, I could just press the D-pad button, switch to my aggressive attacking formation, get my players on, you know, getting behind, high pressure, chase the ball. You might go 1-0 up, 2-0 up, and then be like, boom, let me go to a more passive game plan and just change it without even having to pause it. You just go into a position where you switch to defensive. You put in, when you're on defensive, your backline drops back, your CDMs drop back, your attackers don't make forward runs anymore. And it's just a great feature to be able to say, basically in your mind, like it says, a game plan. If I'm 1-0 up or 2-0 up or 3-0 up, I'm going to do this, this and this. If I'm at 0-0 or 1-0 down or 2-0 down or 3-0 down, I'm going to do this, this and this. Or even might be like I'm 1-0 up, but my opponent is sitting super deep. So I'm going to play a bit more aggressive, a bit more attacking, and try and get a second goal to kill the game off. I love it. I absolutely love what we're reading here. 50-50 battles. This is the final thing for this and for this video today. 50-50 battles is a system that gives the player a new sense of some physicality and urgency to fight for loose balls. In previous FIFA titles, there are situations where a player would not attempt to get a loose ball and let the opponent take the ball from him. Again, another issue. And the biggest problem right here, two problems actually right here. The first biggest issue with this was when the goalkeeper parries a ball out, more often than not, it would just fall to the attacking player for a tap-in. The second one is when you put a tackle in a defensive third, the ball would more often than not pop back to the attacker. And what's so great is, as a FIFA player, it makes me feel so good that these things that I personally thought were issues in the game that had cost me wins and cost me chances weren't just me looking for excuses as to why I was playing bad, but were quite clearly actual issues within the game that they're now looking to build upon and fix. You know, all those times, one of Nick's most common quotes is, made the tackle, right back to him, made the tackle, right back to him. And that's obviously something that's actually been an issue in the gameplay mechanics this year and maybe last year, because they're fixing it. Now, all players have the same instincts when competing for 50-50 balls. With the improved physics system, you will receive a fair and realistic outcome based on how your player engages with the challenge. It's up to you to decide how your player will battle for every ball, and the actions you request will play a part in the outcome of every challenge. Additionally, there are many new animations to help every battle look and feel real, and that sounds fantastic again. The factors that determine who wins each battle for possession are player attributes like strength and mass, action requested, slide, tackle or pass, how well positioned you are for the battle, angle, speed, position of the body. Great, just brilliant, just genuinely brilliant. It's going to make defensive midfielders and defenders and such actually have importance. You know, we've got away with over the last few years playing strikers at centre mid because you don't need the tackle or passing or whatever. Now they're going to be important stats, and I love that. 50-50 battles combined with the active touch system represent a big step towards creating a more natural and realistic football moments in FIFA 19. A lot of new gameplay tools have been added, and combined with a variety of this year's gameplay, you will have more control over everything you do on the pitch. Your skill, hell yeah, and creativity will matter more than ever. I can only hope so. Be prepared to experience more wow moments in FIFA 19. Guys, it all sounds absolutely amazing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.